Hello, it's Russ Kahn, and I'm doing a demonstration of how to paint negatively in watercolor. And this is a leaf painting. I've done step one where I've put a wash of this yellowish green down first and let it dry completely. I mean, walk away, let it dry. If the paper feels cold, it's still wet, it's dry. I waited about a half an hour, and it depends on your humidity, how long it might take yours to dry. Okay, so this is not a hard thing to do. And once you see me do the first layer, I think bells will go off. You'll get the idea. So I'm going to use the same mix. I'm not going to darken it. I'm not going to do anything to create my first layer. Okay, my first layer, again, this is the second part of the video. The first part I did on Facebook, and the video quality was so bad. And again, I had to oversaturate this a little. It's more green than yellow. There you go. You can see it better there. But if I don't oversaturate right now, you won't see that this is yellow-green. It looks white. So anyway, I'll change the contrast on part two once I start putting greens in. So this is really greens. And so we're going to do the layer where we're going to do the top two. So I'm going to paint around 2 leaf templates, the whole surrounding, everything else, with the same paint I used on the first layer. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and do it with this is like a number 20 or number 18 brush. Yeah, it's a synthetic blend I use, Sable Synthetic, because I like that it keeps its shape. Boing, boing, boing. I don't like brushes that go flat. I use Rosemary and Company brushes, by the way, for the most part. But I also use Cheap Joe's Hake brushes, which I love. Okay, so here we go. The second layer, really, because the first layer was a wash that dried. I did a wet on wet wash for those of you who didn't see the first. There wasn't that much to it. And my first mix was cad yellow, a pretty thin mix, and then just a touch of my Prussian blue here and there to give me this kind of peaish green, light spring green sort of. Okay, so now the idea here is we're actually going to use leaves as a template. So I want to put 2 leaves on this. I'm going to look for some more size appropriate ones for the top layer. Let's put this little cutie here. So I'm going to put a couple of these here. I'm just going to put one right here in the middle. I'm going to press with my finger. I'm going to go into my mix. I go, no way. Just do this. I'm going to come around it, the whole way around it while I press down. And then from here, just make sure that I go out to the edges. I don't necessarily redip till I have to, till I see the brush starting to run dry. You can tell it's running dry. You'll see like running spots. And watercolor is a lot more forgiving than most people think. So basically, I'm going over the whole canvas with this color in this area, leaving this leaf like this. Now I want to do another one, so I'm going to be careful. Go around this one and leave some space. It's not a rush. You're not gonna run out of time to do this, right? We're using our template. We're gonna keep it here with our finger. Go around it. I'm gonna put another one facing away from this under it, but I still want to get around this, so I make sure that I have the leaf outline left and a stem outline. I'll add the stems back later because they're kind of hard. That's why I say you can use any leaf, but I mean, and even a blade of grass is a leaf, but obviously we're not gonna use a blade of grass. All right, so I'm gonna pick this up. You can see it leaves a nice negative leaf imprint on here, and I'll put another one in some kind of pleasing orientation, hopefully, to the first one. And we're going to continue the task of painting around, using the leaf as a template. Hopefully. And if you accidentally get under it or something, don't freak out. It's the shape. It's part of the shape. It's part of the layer. It's part of what's happening. It's not something that you should stress about. Just let it happen. So I'm just going to leave 2 on the top layer. I'm going to paint around this. Make sure I cover the whole canvas with this layer. Every time I do a new layer of leaves, I'm going to use my leaf template and paint around it. So it's multiplicative in that this layer will be the base layer of the next layer. And that's how my darkest green will get to be the darkest green. Okay, I'm just looking around to make sure I've hit it around. I'm going to go ahead and lift it up off it. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter. It's just close. So again, the general shape. We'll fix it with shadows and stuff, or we'll just leave it like that. It's art. Okay, so I'm just going to leave 2 on this one. So I'm going to paint through this, everything that's not what was covered by my leaf templates. Now I didn't draw leaves, but basically I have leaves. I could clean it up. I'm not going to. I like it. Like it. So I'm going to turn this a little bit. Hopefully, boy, it's really showing up yellow as contrast. It's a lot more green than yellow, and I'll mess with the contrast now that it's yellow so you can see. So you can see that I've left the 2 top. Those will turn out to be these top ones. Then we're going to go around it with a leaf the same way. Hopefully bells are going off. Wow, this isn't that hard, Russ. Okay, so I'm going to let this go for now, and we're going to wait for all of this to dry. Oh, by the way, I should show you. So it's on an angle, and because it's on an angle, the bottom will pick up a bead. The thing to do with a bead is just use your brush. I'm dipping it to clean it, and I'm wiping it on a paper towel, you know, pulling it along a paper towel just to clean it up, and drying it a little bit at the end. Just make sure it's kind of dry. And then so now I have a dry brush, just like if I was going to lift. And I'm just going to go across the bottom. I really apologize for high saturation, but I just wanted you to see the first colors. To take off that bead. Then I'm going to go ahead and let my screen go up like this, which you can even see it less. I'm so sorry, but hopefully it will get better. No bead, letting it dry. I will see you for the next step.